Hey guys, how's it going? This is Tim, bringing you guys a daily deals with Tim, where I talk about tech, crypto, and stock deals, all for you guys. And before I begin, this is my personal opinion and not financial advice. And today, I want to issue a warning for Bitcoin holders out there, because there is going to be potential hard forks out in the future, possibly in October, possibly in November, probably somewhere until this Q4 2017. And there is two potential hard forks. Oh, I can't speak today. Two potential hard forks, and one of them is Bitcoin Gold, and the other one is Bitcoin or SegWit2x. So Bitcoin B2X and B Gold, Bitcoin Gold. So if you guys want more information about these two, there's a lot of resources out there talking about what they are and exactly it is. But today I'm just going to kind of generalize it in a simple sense and just warn you guys about one thing that could possibly affect your Bitcoin holdings. So the one problem that a lot of people have with these potential hard forks is that replay attacks are possible, and through the replay attacks there is a chance that you can possibly lose your original Bitcoin by having transactions with the hard forked Bitcoins. So let's go to this article really quick. So this is written by Jimmy Song, a Bitcoin developer and an entrepreneur. He's more of a kind of a lecturer now, but about blockchain and Bitcoin. He's a really informative guy, and you guys should definitely check it out. And he explains what replay attacks is. So first of all, let's go into Bitcoin transactions. So Bitcoin can be thought of as like a global ledger, and the Bitcoin transactions as a bank check. So since the global ledger is digital, anyone who can audit the ledger can download the entire copy of blockchain. So that means that all the Bitcoin transactions out there are available for the public, and anyone could look at the individual transactions and verify that the digital signature is valid. So it will be like basically anyone could look at, if they search it up, they can look at your transaction as you send your Bitcoin to an exchange or Bitcoin to another person. People could look at that. They can't do much about it, but they could still look at it. However, with the hard fork situation is a little different. So hard fork is an upgrade to the ledger. So if everyone upgrades, there's only one global ledger. However, if not everyone upgrades, there is two: the legacy ledger and the forked ledger. So up until the fork, the ledgers are exactly the same. They share exact same transaction history. But after the fork, there is going to be new blocks, and the ledger is going to have different transactions and different balances. So this is what happened to Bitcoin Cash on August 1st. So when the hard fork happens, up until then, the two are same, exactly the same. And when the hard fork happens, they split, and then the blocks are going to be different, and then the transaction is going to be a little different. However, if you owned a certain amount of Bitcoin in the original Bitcoin, and once it splits, you're going to have the same amount of the forked Bitcoin amount in the other chain, other hard fork. Now this becomes a problem if you spend some Bitcoin on one ledger, and the other person can copy the same check which has your signature and present it on the other ledger. So this means that a random person can spend your money on the other ledger because your signature is valid for both ledgers. So it would be like, so this is called a replay attack, in which that another person presents a copy of your check on the other ledger, kind of replaying the transaction. So for a scenario, let's say you had 10 Bitcoin and just 10 regular Bitcoin, and then you send 1 Bitcoin to an exchange to sell it or something. Now, once the hard fork happens, the address you send the Bitcoin from is going to be the same as the hard forked Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin Gold. There has been talks of replay protection in Bitcoin Gold, but for right now, let's say there is no replay protection. So if you send one Bitcoin from your regular Bitcoin to an exchange, then another person could copy that transaction, replay it on Bitcoin Gold, and possibly send the Bitcoin Gold to their account. And then vice versa could happen too. So let's say you get 10 Bitcoin Gold and you send 10 Bitcoin Gold to an exchange to sell it, because that's what a lot of people are going to do, to sell your forked Bitcoins to get real Bitcoin. So let's say you send 10 Bitcoin Gold to the exchange, and another person who sees that transactions could copy that exact 10 Bitcoin Gold and replay it on the regular Bitcoin chain, so that they could take 10 of your Bitcoin and send that to another address, because it still has your signature. So what this means is that if you, without knowing anything, just send your Bitcoin Gold, and if there is no replay protection, other person that sees a transaction could possibly steal away your real Bitcoin in this, because the signatures is still there. Your signature is still there. So that's why this is so contentious. It's so malicious, because even though you're not touching your Bitcoin, you're just trying to sell your Bitcoin Gold, other person could replay that and steal your actual Bitcoin. And let's say if you had 10 Bitcoin and 10 Bitcoin Gold, if you sell that 10 Bitcoin Gold, your 10 regular Bitcoin could be in trouble, because other person could see that transaction and replay it. So, yeah, I went a little long about that. So anyways, so when Bitcoin Cash was created, why wasn't this possible? That was because Bitcoin Cash had a little check mark. And that check mark has it's special so that anyone trying to replay the protection will reject, because it's missing that special mark. So the mark is called the replay protection because it prevents replay attacks. Now for SegWit2x, the devs behind SegWit2x are refusing to add replay protection. They're saying that Bitcoin Core should add replay protection if it's a concern. But with hard forks, replay protection is necessary, because the hard fork is not backward compatible and not everyone upgrades, and this causes two different ledgers. And if this happens in that SegWit2x hard forks without replay protection, people could possibly steal either Bitcoin or B2X on both sides, vice versa. So that is one of the reasons why this situation is so conflicted, because the SegWit2x developers are refusing to add replay protection, which means that when this hard fork happens, there's a possibility that a whole bunch of people can steal your regular Bitcoin when you sell off your SegWit2x coins. So one advice or one tip for you guys, if you guys are Bitcoin users, and if you want to protect yourself from these replay attacks after the 2x hard fork, you want to separate your account into two different ledgers. So one on Bitcoin Core and one on SegWit2x. So they could separate their accounts by mixing the coins, but this is gonna need a little more complex knowledge and actions on your part. However, if you guys are kind of don't want to go through this whole process, one thing you can do is just not transact for a while until there is a clear and accessible replay solution. So once the hard fork happens, just don't touch your Bitcoin or Bitcoin Gold. Then if you don't transact anything, there is no possibility to play the replay attack on your bank or on your account, because you're not sending anything out and you're not receiving anything. So this does, well, at least for Jimmy Song, he says that this may seem scary, but given with the experience with the Bitcoin Cash, this may not be so terrible after all. So because Bitcoin Cash went through a similar thing and that they added the check mark, this might change in the future, but for right now, Segwit 2x is not planning to add replay protection. And for Bitcoin Gold, there is talks about it, but there hasn't been confirmation that they have added the replay protection. So for Bitcoin holders, I'll still be careful in making transactions of Bitcoin after the hard forks, and just make sure there is a general consensus that the replay protection does exist and that you don't have to be worried about transacting your Bitcoin and having the other side stolen by another person who can see the transaction. So yeah, that is just a general news to you guys. This might be a bit of a old news for some people because the information is out there, but if you guys haven't noticed this or didn't know this, this could be helpful for a lot of Bitcoin users out there. So yeah, if you guys like this kind of content, like this video, comment below and smash that subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to share this video to other people, your friends and families who own Bitcoin, definitely go ahead. I'll really appreciate that. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, click on the affiliate links below. And as always, I'll bring you guys more deals on Daily Deals with Tim.